Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2022, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2022 elections. We ask voters to arm themselves with information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming elections. And now I'd like to introduce Brian Kane, who is running for Shakopee School Board. Brian, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. My name is Brian Kane, and I'm interested in running for the school board. I don't have any political experience or accomplishments on the political level, and I don't think it's really needed because it's a nonpartisan position. And but in the years past, I've had many opportunities to volunteer. I've been a chairperson for our parish festival for 2 or 3 years in the past when it was Yulee Fest at St. Mark's, and I've been on the parish council in the past, and I continue to volunteer in those aspects with the parish and also to be active in my children's activities. I volunteered in the past as a soccer coach for 2 of my daughters. And that's all I have for an introduction.
Great. Well, thank you, Brian. What inspired you to run for school board?
Well, the main thing that inspired me to run for the school board is twofold. The lack of transparency within the school board, i.e. shutting down voices and limiting the First Amendment right of freedom of speech for any person who has disagreed with the whole narrative of masking, vaccine status, and distance learning effects on the mental health of our students. The second reason that inspired me to run is to be a voice for other parents, families, and students who are too fearful to stand up to the school board and superintendent for fear of losing a job or being publicly shamed in person or on social media.
Great. Thank you, Brian. We've seen the graduation rate in Shakopee High School stay above the state average. What can the Shakopee School District do to not only maintain this level, but exceed it?
The school board can continue to maintain this level by being more transparent with parents and students, by clearly and completely explaining class content with an easy to read, which is easy to read, concise, and lists clearly stated goals that would maintain this level. To exceed this level, this transparency needs to be constant and not just published pre-operating levy or a general election vote in November. It should be published monthly.
Great, thank you. According to Minnesota's North Star accountability system, we have seen the number of students meeting standards in math, reading, and science drop from pre-pandemic numbers. What can the Shakopee School District do to bring those numbers back to pre-pandemic levels?
The main thing that the school district should be doing or have done is to keep students in school and to forgo any distance learning in the future. Another thing that should be done is to make sure teachers that are hired have the students learning the subjects mentioned above without being bullied by the teachers union or the Minnesota School Board Association to what can and cannot be taught in the classroom, i.e. diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity, equity, inclusion curriculum do not have to be included in every subject that the student takes.
Thank you. In 2021, voters approved an operating levy for the Shakopee School District. If elected, what are your priorities regarding the school district's budget?
My priorities for the district budget would be to have the school board making the decisions and not any more top-down advice or admonishment from the superintendent, as the superintendent's role does not and shouldn't have changed during the unconstitutional governor's orders during the past 2 years. The school board makes decisions and votes on a budget, and the superintendent cannot take the lead in school board meetings even during an unconstitutional enactment of emergency powers by the governor. I would also like to investigate down to the last dollar where the COVID relief funds for our districts were spent.
Thank you. And what has the existing school board done well, and where are its opportunities for improvement?
The existing school board have done very well concerning all the chaos the last 2 years created. However, transparency declined and overhanded decisions against one side of the masking issue was extremely detrimental to the unity our district needed then and did not receive from the board. The biggest opportunity I personally see for the board is increased transparency and an increased role in the board members to not only so that they not only can critically, so that they can critically think for themselves instead of following the whims of the superintendent, teachers union, and the Minnesota School Board Association and the groupthink that entails.
Great. Thank you, Brian. Now I'd like to give you an opportunity to give your closing statement and message to the voters.
Well, if I get elected, I will be a strong voice for parents and students who are fearful of not knowing what occurs in the school district. I will also advocate for more critical thinking as an individual and for others who are concerned about the increasing groupthink created by the teachers union and Minnesota School Board Association. And finally, I would like to increase awareness of what the diversity, equity, and inclusion department's goals are and inform other citizens of the school district what dangers this department has on our children, our families, and for our district as a whole.
Thank you. And again, the views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these events as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure its objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate, but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. We appreciate your time and service to our community by running for office. You are performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2022. Please join us September 29th at River Valley Church for our candidate forum. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org for more information. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much for inviting me here, and thank you all those people who live in the school district.
Thank you.